Welcome back, everybody, to the Trial of the Forest podcast, a podcast from friends coming together to do deep dives into Star Wars and other nerd-related media. So we know we're a little late to the party because everybody's already been talking about the hunt for Ben Solo and Adam Driver and all of the good Star Wars things, but we were having too much fun talking about Tron last week, so we apologize.
For better or worse.
For better or worse. But today we will be talking Star Wars. We're going to talk a little bit about upcoming Visions that comes out this week, which we've always been a huge fan of Visions. There's some publishing news, and we do believe that Adam Driver deserves, a dedicated episode and to talk about the hunt for Ben Solo and the fact that, fans are reacting still. So that's going to be the episode for today. Let's get started, though, Goose. So
let's get
What
started.
do you want to tackle? What do you want to tackle first?
Let's go with the. Since we're late to the party, we might as well be super late to it and just talk about Ben Solo at the end of the episode. Let's talk.
I'm good with that.
Let's start with what's the most relevant thing. It's like when this episode comes out, which will probably be Wednesday. We're recording on a Monday. Star Wars Visions, like you mentioned, Star Wars Visions Volume 3. Will be out, and it's volume 3, the third season. Obviously, will be out, and like you were mentioning, like we're very big fans of it. Unlike season 2, we're back in Japan, so it's fitting considering that Star Wars Celebration Japan was only a couple months ago, which is insane to think about because it feels like it's been
and you were there.
Years. And I was there. It feels like a dream at this point. So only fitting.
Are they releasing the whole season at once like they've done before?
They are. Okay. So I
Mm-hmm.
had to refresh my memory because I did not really remember much about like the episodes, but it's going to be 9 episodes, all from Japanese studios, including Kamikaze Douga with Anima, Kinema Citrus Co., Production IG, Triggered, Wit Studio, Project Studio Q, Polygon Pictures, and David Productions. For, like I mentioned, 9 episodes, 3 of which, and I'm not sure if I'm absolutely correct about this, but I think only 3 of those episodes will be direct sequels from fan favorite shorts from volume 1 of Visions, and that includes a sequel to everyone's favorite, The Duel, a sequel to The Village Bride, and a sequel to The Ninth Jedi. So that is really, really exciting. We're definitely looking forward to that. And if you've been listening and watching to this podcast, that Chase hasn't been joining us because, scheduling is never easy.
And life.
Especially with life and everything.
And now Daylight Savings Time is coming.
And now Daylight Savings Time is coming. But Chase is very excited for Star Wars Visions as both of us are. So hopefully we'll be able to schedule something, either the 3 of us or some combination of everybody, so that we can discuss all of the episodes. But that is really, really cool, really, really exciting. And we're, it's also perfect timing because I'm playing Ghost of Yotei. So
wow.
It's like all these Japan-centric stories happening this year are just kind of a beautiful all for. Thing. Like, which one was your favorite of the Visions stories from back in Volume 1? When it was just pure anime.
Oh, you had to have asked me before because I don't remember which one. Yeah.
It's the interviewer image. It's like, let's just get it spicy.
Just go. Oh yeah. Oh my God, Visions. Of course, I always loved. Oh my God. The bot one made me cry.
The Astro Boy one.
Really, which was really unexpected. I wasn't expecting to like that one when it showed up in the trailers. And it made me bawl. The other one. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Kurosawa
the
black and white one. The Duel.
So good. And and we have that. It's great because there's been so much stuff to come out of that. We had that Emma
because there's been comics
that came out. The comics. So it's good to be, coming back to that because I know that was absolutely legendary. It's one of those things that I was thinking about after playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh,
Ghost of Tsushima has Kurosawa.
So good.
It has Kurosawa mode, which is, very similar to what
you can actually play it black and white with, Kurosawa mode is great.
This will be such a good game. And so, just skin it with the Duel, and you'll get my $70 for a PS5 game for that one.
Yeah. So yeah. So that it was the TOB one, Toby. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah,
bot
yeah,
one. Oh my god. That one, I thought that one was underrated. I thought that one was fantastic.
yeah,
But I did think they made really good choices about the ones that they want to do direct sequels to,
yeah,
because they were some of the best ones. Like the duel, the Village Bride, which had Miyazaki
yeah.
feels
So
all
good.
throughout. Just, I mean, it's so good. And we talked about, they were some of our favorites, and definitely the Ninth Jedi, which I'm pretty sure the dad was voiced by one of my like all time favorite like anime voice
Hmm,
actors. And
hmm.
then that last scene where like the whole picture turns around and it's like a vision of a lightsaber,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
oh
yeah,
my god,
yeah,
there were so many good things to, honestly, to all of them, because the twins wasn't necessarily my type of thing. The animation was so good.
hmm.
I mean, there's so many good things about all of these episodes, honestly.
Yeah, it's great to just
So
see all these artists just go crazy
yeah.
with Star Wars and just do their own unique visions.
Yeah,
No
and
pun
then
intended. No pun intended. But their own
yeah,
unique visions
I
on
I know,
everything.
and which was, it was so good to then have like season 2 where we get more like South
Hmm.
American and different kind of studios having their take on Star Wars, and not having them have the constraints of it has to be this story and this is the canon and we
Hmm.
always stick to the Skywalkers and that's it. Like having them to be free and set the story wherever they want, and like interpret the Force in whichever way they want. And
Yeah.
obviously, a lot of Star Wars was influenced by Japanese
Hmm,
culture
hmm.
and Japanese films and Kurosawa and the whole thing. So I loved season 2. Don't get me wrong, but I'm a huge fan of anime, so I'm very happy to have like anime come back and to have some actual direct sequels to some stories that deserve, to
Yeah.
be have a little bit more meat to their story than, the little short that we got. And
Agreed.
they
Agreed.
still pulled off amazing stories in like short episodes. So, fantastic.
The only thing is that, as much as I love that we're doing a Japanese studio focused Visions
Mhm.
Volume 3, like you said, like I really like Volume 2
Yeah.
and how I expanded and included like a lot of other places
Yeah.
that you wouldn't normally think of in terms of like
Yeah.
animation for Star Wars. So, here's a fingers crossed that they confirm that there's going to be a
A
Star
fourth season
Wars
and it goes
Visions
back.
Volume
Mhm.
4, and this one is also like open to everyone else, and that maybe there's a Puerto Rican animation studio in there, and we get a Puerto Rican Star Wars story in there. So Lucasfilm,
Now
you're
that we're
listening.
taking over the Super Bowl.
Now that we're you have do we still have 4 months or is it 3 months for everyone to learn Spanish?
In
So
Spanish.
just learn. I mean, or don't just pop. Just enjoy it.
Yeah. Sure.
But yeah, Star Wars Visions this week is Star Wars Visions Volume 3. Watch it, binge it, watch it one at a time, enjoy however you want. We will be watching 2 and covering it. We haven't figured out how our coverage is gonna go, but
Yeah.
it will happen some way. Um, but in other news, like you were mentioning, there's publishing adjacent news, and it's kind of good timing that it came out because it tangentially touches the hunt for Ben Solo and everything we're going to talk about that film that was meant. I mean, that was going to be and never was. And this is
Mhm.
about the Acolyte, some people's favorite show. I mean, I know I definitely enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Was a show that
It's
somehow
controversial.
was
Mhm.
more controversial than
Yeah.
the Last Jedi, if that's possible. I don't know.
Yep.
Interesting how
Yeah.
they both had like red theming in their marketing and whatnot. So I don't know if that's a coincidence, but uh, I really like the show, and one of the things that I really like the most is a lot of the design for the show, in particular Chimere, the Stranger. Like I love that mask that
Mhm.
they designed for him, and Manny Jacinto was incredible in the role.
Yeah, the mask was insane. The
Yeah,
mask was crazy good. Yeah.
it was so good. I mean, I own it. Like I have the Black Series that just arrived now, and I have that mask that I bought from some guy in Poland that did a screen accurate replica of it. But I digress. The point is that some pages were released ahead of the publication for Star Wars: The Acolyte, the
Mhm.
art of Star Wars: The Acolyte by Kristen Baver. And one of the things that was revealed, and just because this was revealed in the art of book doesn't mean it's canon. It just means that
Right.
it's an intention that Leslie Headland had as she
Mhm.
was, developing the show and creating these characters and going through the design for them with the Lucasfilm art department and everything. Was that her original intention in bringing Chimera, and then obviously bringing Darth Plagueis at the end of the series. Spoiler alert for everyone that hasn't seen a show that's
It's
over
been
a
out
year
for a
old.
while. Hmm.
Was that Chimera would eventually end up being the first Knight of Ren,
Oh, the outfit totally makes sense now.
and the mask and everything.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
it's one of those things where it's just like, well, Plagueis has to end up with a Palpatine as an apprentice. So,
Right.
so to continue a Chimera story, like that story would take him into the
Yeah,
Knights of
because
Ren and like
he
becoming the
couldn't be the
first
one of
one.
the two. He would be the first.
Correct,
Oh,
correct.
that's cool.
It's
That's
kind of like a
really cool.
parallel, right, to
Hmm.
Darth Maul with the Shadow Collective after
Hmm.
Palpatine abandons him for Count Dooku and everything. So interesting, interesting development. And obviously, we're going to talk about Kylo Ren, the leader,
Yeah.
the master of the Knights of Ren in the sequel trilogy. But how do you feel
Yeah.
about that, considering that we haven't gotten closure on the Acolyte, and a lot of people haven't gotten closure with Ben Solo, and now we have like these
It's a
tidbits of
parallel, right?
news
Yeah.
about how those stories could have continued. So, are you into him being a Knight of Ren, or would you have preferred some other avenue for that story to go, which can still go anywhere? Let's be clear. This is not
Yeah.
canon or
Um,
established
I'm
canon.
actually really cool with him having been the first Knight of Ren, because then it kind of meshes with why wasn't he the apprentice? Why was it Palpatine? Because there was always the law of two.
Mhm.
So that you have a separate kind of the Knights of Ren who are still dark side, who still serve the Emperor, I think is a really good way to continue the story. I've always been a really big fan of the dark characters, and
Mhm.
I feel like a lot of people are. So I don't know why there was like so much pushback with the Acolyte. I mean,
We know why.
obviously it had its issues that all fans will complain about, but I think that would be a really cool avenue for it. I mean, and we're going to be talking about the hunt for Ben Solo. I know there was a lot of fan pushback also for the Acolyte, right? There's a lot of people that still want more Acolyte.
Yeah, everything has its fans.
Yeah,
You just gotta let things mature and like establish
yeah.
themselves so that people can come back. I mean, I've seen online lots of people that comment that they avoided the show when it came out because all the
Because of the
toxic
negative comments
vitriol
and stuff. Yeah.
online, exactly, and the review bombing and everything. And then
Instead of
after it
watching
all
it for
died down,
themselves.
they
Yeah.
gave it a shot. And she was like, "Hey, this is actually good. I don't understand why people are upset about it."
Hmm.
So it's the nature of the beast. Disney has always been kind of reactionary to
Yeah.
Star Wars. They don't let. I mean, I think the people at
Well,
Lucasfilm kind of trust and know what to do with it, but Disney just intervenes and doesn't trust them to do the right thing with Star Wars, and just you know
well,
cuts
also,
them
come
off
on,
at the knees.
we have to admit also that the fandom is a bitch.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the Star Wars fandom is insane. It's like we want the stories that are tied to everybody, and then they do a show like Obi-Wan, and then
Hmm.
everybody still complains about it anyway, which I thought it was fantastic, by the way. I really
Hmm.
enjoyed Obi-Wan. But then it's like, oh, then just do new stories. And then we do the Acolyte, and it's like, oh, it went too far away
Hmm.
from the original vision. It's like, I mean, you can't make them happy in any way. And I mean, we're not all in agreement about everything. So you don't have to make something that appeals to every single Star Wars fan. I think they need
No.
to know that at this point, the Star Wars fandom is so big that you need to just acknowledge that you're not going to make everybody happy with every production that you do. It's completely impossible.
Yeah.
Because some people want to go back to the original trilogy. Some are in love with the prequel. Some are in love with the sequel. Some are in love with the animations. There's a little bit of everything for everybody.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, we saw
you
it,
know,
right? We saw it with the prequels. Everyone was,
used to
the
hate bomb, and now,
use hate bomb, and now it's just
yeah,
the love,
yeah.
the revisionist history of everyone being
Hmm.
like, oh, no one hated the prequels when they came out. I was like, yes, everyone kind of
Almost
did, and
everyone
now
did it.
everyone has revisionist history and rose-colored glasses, and everyone loves it now, and it's just
And
like,
it's going to happen with the sequel trilogy too,
yeah.
you know?
And I mean, we
So,
might be seeing the start of that. But as much as I love some of the sequel trilogy, because
The
we
Last
know that
Jedi.
there were some one of the three movies that I'm not particularly a fan of, which we'll talk about because it's extremely relevant to the Ben Solo news.
Hmm.
But overall, like I think the characters are interesting. It was an interesting direction. Like, are there things there that my my head canon as a
Yeah.
longtime fan was just like, oh, this should have been this way because X, Y, and Z. It's like, I mean,
Yeah.
sure, that's normal and natural, but you gotta judge a thing for what it is and not what you wanted it to be.
Or what
So
it should have been.
for the
So
most part,
it is what it is.
it is what it is, and I rather the sequel trilogy exist in the way that it does instead of just kind of like
They
living
were
in.
still entertaining. We have
Yeah,
our issues with some of them, especially the last one, but they were
especially
still
this.
entertaining. They were still entertaining. It was still Star Wars. I mean, I can't believe people complain that we are still getting Star Wars. We're still getting Star Wars.
Yeah, in
I
in
mean,
in in, in in more shapes than one. There was a time when it
mhm.
was only publishing, and now we have publishing, we have animation, we have video games, we have films, we have TV. Although maybe TV
We
is
have comics.
drying.
Mhm.
So there's a vast arena of Star Wars to play in, and we're just happy that we can enjoy Star Wars uh, as much as we are, and as much as we are getting Star Wars, there is the Star Wars that we didn't get, and just
I
like
know.
I mean,
Mhm.
I don't think the book is closed on Chimere story continuing, and maybe seeing Leslie
Mhm.
Hetland's vision come to fruition and seeing him become the first Knight of Ren. That's not canon because it's just in
Yeah,
an art
but
book.
we'll see.
There's
Mhm.
still a possibility of that continuing.
Yeah.
But one thing that is apparently, allegedly dead is
Mhm.
what
The
the
Hunt
news
for
that
Ben
came out
Solo.
last
Mhm.
week, the hunt for Ben Solo. Where was that reported? I don't remember.
That was the American press, I think.
The American press. Well, one of them. One of them. It was in an
Mhm.
interview, right? That Adam Driver was giving
Mhm.
someone about a movie that he's doing. I think he's doing a movie with Steven Soderbergh right now, where they were just talking about. He was just. I don't know if they had asked. I honestly haven't seen the interview or anything. I don't care. I just read the tidbits that are juicy for us here.
Uh-huh.
Um, just mentioned that he really loved the character of Ben Solo and really wanted
Yeah.
to see that story continue and talk to Steven Soderbergh to pitch ideas. And apparently they were working on a movie
Mhm.
and on a script for this film that tentative title Hunt for Ben Solo. I don't think that would have been the final title because it feels too much like the Hunt for Gollum. It's not. It's definitely reads like a placeholder. But
Mhm.
apparently the movie in a follow-up report came out after. So I'm just gonna merge both reports. That the
Yeah, where
movie
Steven
came,
Soderbergh made comments too.
yeah, made
Mhm.
comments, and apparently it was kind of confirmed that after it was pitched to Lucasfilm, like the movie kind of started early stages of pre-production, and there was a
And
completed
apparently had a
script,
script. Yeah.
and Lucasfilm was into it, and they're like, let's go, let's do this, and they were excited about it, and all of a sudden, no one's favorite CEO, Bob Iger,
Bob Iger.
the big cheese, pun intended, at Disney, the House of Mouse, the king of the House of Mouse, just came and destroyed the film and just canceled the Hunt for Ben Solo and obliterated any chance of Adam
Well,
Driver
and I mean,
reprising.
the reason for it is the stupidest part because apparently the reason for it is, oh, I can't imagine that Ben Solo survived. It's like, wait, are you kidding me? You've done Palpatine Reborn for an entire sequel trilogy, and you cannot imagine that somehow Ben Solo
Mhm,
survived?
mhm.
Are you kidding me?
Darth Maul survives being cut in half.
In
Asajj
half, in
Ventress
literal
also
half.
comes back.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
mean, you can the whole thing to me is just bizarre because it just reads
There's
as
so many characters
uh,
that come back.
it feels like fear on the on Disney's
Mhm.
part of not wanting to do any sequel trilogy stories for now because of the backlash against both the Last Jedi and the Rise of Skywalker. And it's baffling to me. I mean, I understand in a way. It's just
Yeah.
like, well, this is a business too. We have to make money. So, but at the same time, it's just like, but you're giving Jared Leto Tron Ares.
Yep.
You're how many other
And the
film
Reylos are a thing. The Reylos are a huge thing.
the Reylos are a thing, and they are
And and
up
honestly,
in
at this
arms.
point, yeah, and at this point, honestly, like Jared Leto has had so much bad press. He's
Mhm.
ruined so many films, and he's kind of like a bad person. And then you get Adam Driver, who's been
Everyone's
an
favorite.
amazing actor. I mean, not just in Star Wars, but like a lot of the things that he has done. He loves making indie films. He's always critically acclaimed, and you have
Mhm.
Soderbergh, who's like another amazing director, and that combination would have been insane. Oh, and by the way, to clarify, the original interview was with the Associated Press,
Okay.
just to
Give credit where
quote
credit's due.
correctly. Um, I'm a lawyer. I have to credit
It's
correctly.
it's important. It's important.
Yeah,
We don't want anyone to accuse us of slander or anything.
yeah.
This
So,
is not written, so it's not libel.
mhm.
I know that much thanks to Spider-Man 2.
Okay. True. Um, and you are actually correct. But I mean, Adam Driver, I feel like, and you can read the interview; it's out there. The whole hunt for Ben Solo, you can tell it kind of stems from the fact that he wanted, when he was initially pitched the idea of the character of Kylo Ren, who really is Ben Solo, that
Mhm, mhm.
he wanted it to be like a reverse storytelling of Anakin.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
he
mhm, mhm.
starts dark side and finds the light, which we kind of start to see. And then we get a little bit of redemption in the Rise of Skywalker, but then they immediately respond by killing him.
Yeah, because there
I,
is no redemption in Star Wars. There's
I
only
mean,
death.
which is insane. Like he finally finds a partner in Ray, and then I feel like both of them together would have been a really cool kind of start, because it's like new blood coming in, and then old Skywalker, that went dark but actually found the light. I think it would have been a really interesting storyline. I was actually really upset when it turned out that he just bit the bullet. Like when you
Yeah.
see him like wake up for a little second, it's like, oh, they didn't actually kill him. Oh wait, they did kill him. Never mind. Okay, so nobody can redeem themselves. You redeem yourself, you die. Which is
Yeah, I mean, because for me
you.
it was the half-assed way of it, right? Because
Yeah, I know.
if
And
you had
mhm,
committed to being okay, he's gonna be irredeemable. He's gonna commit to the dark side.
mhm,
He's gonna go full dark, and then if he bites the bullet that way, you're like, okay, well, they committed to him being dark, so it makes sense with the story. But you
mhm.
can't make him the supreme leader, but then be like, actually, but we're gonna go the Vader route and kind of redeem him, but we're not gonna let
But then
him
not
live.
really.
It was so
Yeah.
unsatisfying, and then
Which
I
that's what
understand.
it is. It sounds like Adam Driver himself wasn't happy with the direction that it was
No.
going. And he wanted that redemption arc, that storytelling to
Mhm.
fulfill this character who was like kind of really well written at first, but then they kind of didn't really know what to do with him later on. So having this film about him, about
Mhm.
everything that happened afterwards, how he came to terms with turning
Yeah.
from the dark to the light, and how he actually found his way into maybe actually becoming a Jedi
Mhm.
and joining Rey and becoming part of the school after he destroyed Luke's school. I feel like there was an opportunity for so much, and the fact that he said in the interview that the script was one of the fucking, sorry, the expletive, coolest things he's
Mhm.
ever read, considering the amazing movies he's made so far, is saying a lot. So
Yeah.
I feel like we lost a lot in the failure to make this movie happen, and the fans are up in arms about it. So I don't know, with a big enough push and enough interest, I
Hey,
don't know if it's.
if fans could make an online movement to make Sony re-release Morbius again, Jared Leto,
Oh god,
re-release
yep.
another Jared Leto bomb in theaters because they thought Morbin time was an actual thing, and spoiler alert, it wasn't.
Mm,
I think that there's an
no.
avenue for this, and I think it's really cool, like you were saying, because you could have kind of like a parallel thing with the Ray film, and like we don't know what the Ray film is going to be about, and
Yeah,
it's hopefully still in development, even though we haven't heard
we haven't heard anything for a
many
while. Mhm.
updates for it in a while. But I think it's kind of cool to have like those, assuming that the Ben Solo film is occurring in this
Yeah,
hypothetical world that we're
universe. Hmm.
talking about. It's just like those films are kind of happening in parallel, and maybe
Yeah,
there's like the convergence film that where the two of
yeah.
them meet or something. Kind of like, I don't know if you've heard the news about that they're doing like a Beatles biopic, which has been done before. That's not the cool thing. The cool thing
Uh-huh.
about it is that they're actually doing it like four versions of the film and each one is from the perspective
From
of
each one of
each
the
of the
members?
Beatles. And then
Okay.
I mean, I might be. It's been a minute since I read this, so I might be making up details as
Quoting
I
it
go.
wrong?
Yeah, because I don't know if it's gonna be like there's gonna be the theatrical version, which is like the full version of the four of them, and then they're gonna release
And
like
then you
the
separate
four,
the stories
and then
or
you
yeah.
separate them, or if it's gonna be actually four films, and then they're gonna edit it into one. I'm not sure which order it is, but let's assume that I'm right about either of them. It would still be cool to kind of do something
Yeah.
like that, where that you're doing the Ray film and the Ben Solo film, and then there's the Skywalker film, right, which is like them
Mhm.
kind of finding each other and going into
Forward. Yeah.
whatever it means for them,
Mhm.
which opens the avenue, I think, for like you mentioned, like the Reylo, right? Because I think,
Yeah.
how do you feel about Reylo? I feel like that's a depending on who you ask, is either a loaded subject or it's
Yeah.
a passionate subject, but I haven't seen a lot of measured discussion in between. So what's your take on Reylo?
I was a fan. I was a huge fan. The present I got from Lucasfilm when I passed the bar was actually a toy set for with with Reylo in it. So
Spicy, okay.
I should set it up here somewhere.
You should.
Yeah, I should set it up. The books take space. I need a bigger nerd room. I need to do better. I need posters and stuff. I know I'm
It's a work in
bad at
progress.
this.
Like,
It's a
my
work in
my
progress.
shelf fell down, so now it's back up. I'm
Yeah,
reorganizing. It happens. It happens.
it happens. So I was actually a huge fan. I loved the dark with light, especially because I thought, especially in the first film, with which yeah, it's like the first sequel trilogy is kind of a rehash of A New Hope
Mhm,
in a lot of ways, but I feel like at the time a lot of us fans kind of needed it.
mhm.
It's gotten a little bit of hate now, but I really enjoyed it when it first came out, and I thought
Same.
and
Still
I
good.
thought Kylo was actually one of the more compelling characters. Like people were annoyed that he was like whiny and shit, but
Yeah.
that's what he was
So was Luke.
supposed
So
to
was Luke.
be.
So was Luke.
Yeah,
So
so
was
was Luke. So
Anakin.
was Luke.
It runs in the
So yeah,
family.
yeah, it runs in the family. It runs in the family. So I mean, and the scene where he like kills his father, I thought was gorgeously filmed and just
Mhm.
really sad. I mean, like I knew it was gonna happen.
Oh yeah, we all did. The
Like
minute they walk into that bridge, it's just like, here it is.
we knew it was gonna happen, but it still hurt. Like
Yeah.
it still hurt. So there was something really cool about them kind of finding each other, him and Ray in the second film. Like they're
Mhm.
still kind of trying to figure each other out, and there's hate there because Ray started to think of Han as her father figure,
Mhm.
and then to see, Ben, his actual son, murder him is just like it's really compelling storytelling. And a lot of the scenes with the conversations and how they kind of, start to understand because there really is a problem with it only being the light side and the dark when there's a lot of
Mhm.
shades of gray in between. And the fact that they were kind of understanding that by their conversations. And that's why I did want The Last Jedi for it to be that's the last Jedi. Like
Mhm.
Luke was the last Jedi. It's done. We're starting a new era where nothing is so black and white.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
starts with Ben and Ray, someone who was dark, someone who was light, that understands that it's not as simple as that.
Mhm.
So if they could have explored that story in this next film after we're done with the Skywalker, trilogies, and we can come back to a different version of the Skywalkers
Right.
after
Right.
this.
Right. Right.
So I would have been really, really into watching them kind of mold the new Jedi Order and kind of pull it away from a strictly we're all light, we reject the dark. There's nothing as emotional entanglements. We still have to like kidnap children and raise them,
Yeah.
cultishly. I would have liked to see, you know, how the new Jedi Order grew from their experiences. So
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
and
know.
it ties account to expanded universe stuff because I mean, they
Yeah.
don't do that exactly right in the
Hmm.
expanded universe, but Luke has attachments, and Jedi
Hmm.
are allowed to be married and have kids and
Hmm.
families, and as long as they're having healthy attachments, it's
Right.
good with the Force and all that. So, I agree.
Yeah.
Like I thought the Jedi, like Luke was right. It's time for the Jedi to end. And if you've
Yeah.
heard this podcast throughout the years, you know that my theory at the time was that Rise of Skywalker meant that there was not going to be Jedi anymore. It's just going to be
Yeah.
Skywalkers now instead of Jedi. But it's one of those things that also made me a little sad, right? Like at the end of Skywalker, which I have to do the caveat when I say this by saying that I understand that the point of Rise of Skywalker is that you don't have to attach yourself to a toxic family. You can break free from that and become your
Yeah.
own person and, and be good on your own rights, not because what your lineage tells you, which is Rey's story by rejecting the Palpatine
Mhm.
lineage and continuing on the Skywalker name. Like I get it conceptually, but it's still, like at the, I still feel weird at the end of the movie being like, oh wait, so Palpatine was trying to destroy the Skywalkers and he kind of succeeds because the last one that survives is a
Skywalker is a Palpatine?
Palpatine. Like
Mhm.
all the Skywalkers are dead, and now a Palpatine just takes a Skywalker name, and it's just like, it's not that, but it still feels like
No,
that.
I know
So
it feels that way. And there's always an argument to be made about the found family. Like you can be the family that you want to be and all these things. But I think
she
if
could have done that
would have
without the Palpatine thing.
the thing is right, but then you decided to make her a Palpatine, which changes the story. Like we can't rewrite the story. But I think it would have been more interesting for her to be like, okay, I am a Palpatine. I'm going to change the meaning of the last name. We
Mm,
are not gonna be the ultimate evil in the universe. I am a Palpatine and I'm gonna be different. Because Luke was a Skywalker and Anakin was too. Anakin was Darth Vader and he brought back the name.
mhm,
So, I
mhm.
mean, the argument can go both ways. So, if you decide to make her a Palpatine in the films, then kind of own up to it, right? At the end, it felt like kind of a cop out,
It was.
you
I
know?
mean, that film. I don't want to beat a dead horse. We've
I know, I know.
talked
Either
about,
make her a nobody or
which is great.
something,
I
but
like nobody.
yeah, I love being a nobody. But
That's
if you're
you know.
gonna go through the purpose of like the point of making her a Palpatine, just lean into it and own it and have her own it. So I don't know.
Yeah, and
We
and
have
the
our
whole,
issues.
and I think it just kind of makes it even stronger for her to fall in love with Ben and kind of continue her
Yep.
life with him as they set up this whole diet thing and then immediately kill it.
Yeah,
Which I'm
and
just
kill
like,
it.
wait, what
Yeah,
was the point? At
a
that point?
Skywalker who was dark side, Palpatine who was light side. Somehow they find each other, and
Mhm.
it was
It was
it
good.
was
It
a
was good.
compelling story.
Like
And then they kind of just
I'm not the biggest fan of romance and
yeah,
stories because that's not what
I know.
I'm drawn to in a story. But if it's written well and it's compelling, let's go. Let's go where the story takes us. And I think Last Jedi did a kind of great setup for that, especially that throne room scene when
Oh,
he tells her
and
you're
that's one of my
nothing,
favorite fights in
you're
Star Wars.
nothing, and then
Period.
but
It's
not to
so
me.
good.
I'm just like, oh, so good. Ryan Johnson, you crushed it. Well, maybe I'll watch that movie now after we finish recording.
After the conversation, let's just
Yeah,
watch The Last Jedi again.
The Last Jedi is so good,
It's so
and
good. I know.
I don't get the hate. I don't get it.
And there's still hate. There's still a lot of hate.
A lot, which I'm just like, it's
Mhm.
been 10. Oh yeah, it's been 10 years this year. Just
I mean,
get
but
over it.
then again, we were just whining about Last Skywalker,
Well, yeah,
so
but we're not
to
making
each
the
their own.
We're not making the personality of the channel bashing.
Yeah.
We just
Mhm.
one movie, and and
Mhm.
we acknowledge it. We catch ourselves and we move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that I'm with the Reylos on this one. We should have seen that
Mhm.
story continue. Love heals all wounds, as does time. So what we needed a little time for them to kind of find each other somehow with the
Yeah.
Force, and I think that it's kind of sad that I don't mean this to bash the Mandalorian and Grogu. But it's kind of like sad that we had like a really interesting story here that
Yeah.
that was full of possibilities of like what it could have
Yeah.
been because this could have been such a weird movie considering that he's allegedly one with the Force. Well, I mean, he is now that the movie's not happening, but
Right.
it could have been like this very interesting mystical
Yeah.
journey for him to find his way out and reclaim his soul and find a physical manifestation of his goodness or whatever it was
Yeah.
going to be. But really cool, weird Star Wars stuff, and we've always said that we want
We
more
always like
weird
the
Star Wars stuff.
psychedelic. Oh yeah.
And instead of that, we're getting, Mandalorian Grogu, which is going to be fun. We're
It's
gonna
going
go
to be
watch it,
fun.
but
Hmm.
it's safe.
Yeah, it's a safe choice because
It's
it's already doing well. You know,
and I hope it does
Grogu
well. I'll
sells more
be,
than anything.
man,
Um,
I hope it does well because if
but
that movie
and I really
flops,
do, and I
Star Wars is
really do.
dead. I hate to say it, but I think if that movie does not do well,
Well, at
I'm
least Star
very
Wars
worried.
cinema.
Yeah, I mean, well, whatever. We won't. We'll
We
cross
will
that bridge
when we come
once it
to
come
it.
out in May. It comes out in May next year, so we have a couple months to cross that
Mhm.
bridge. But until then, we can only lament, right, that Adam
Mhm.
Driver and Steven Soderbergh weren't able
Did
to
not get to make
do
the film.
their own film. I just hope that maybe a couple years down the line, we have a different CEO at Disney that's a little more
I mean, the script
cognizant.
exists.
Some We'll see. We'll see. I
We'll
hope so.
see.
I hope so. I just want,
I hope
yeah.
so.
But that's the thing too. You don't want to saturate the market with too many Star Wars movies because I think one of the special
Oh,
things
I
about Star
agree.
Wars is not having Star Wars.
Too many, all the time. Yeah,
And I think that was the problem that made Solo fail and Rise of Skywalker fail. So we had bam, 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 every year a movie, and it's like
too
that's
many.
not
It was too many. Yeah,
Star Wars ain't Marvel, so we can't. We have to be a
and
little
Marvel's
hungry.
failing right now too. So
And Marvel, well, we'll see. Fantastic Four was fine. I liked it. It was fine. Like it,
it was fine.
like,
It was fine.
I
But
had a good
honestly, I
time.
think
The
Marvel
best
is
Fantastic Four movie. That's not saying much, but
yeah, because the other ones were so terrible. It was the best iteration so far, but I think a lot is gonna be on. It's Doomsday, the next one. Is it
no.
Doomsday? What's it called? The one with all of them and Tony Stark coming back as Doctor Doom.
Oh, Doctor Avengers, Doomsday. Yeah.
Doomsday, right? I
Oh,
think
you said I understood Tuesday. Oh my god, sorry.
no Doomsday.
I'm like
So
tomorrow's Tuesday. What are you talking
I
about?
feel like all of Marvel right now is hanging on that film because the Thunderbolts was fantastic.
I like
It
Thunderbolts a
was.
lot, even
Thunderbolts
though it
was
flopped,
great.
but it was good.
And it flopped, but it was fantastic. And then the Captain America was bad. It was
It was.
bad. It was bad.
Hey, I was rooting for that movie. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I really was
Mm-hmm.
wanting it to be extremely
To
good, and it
succeed.
was
Yeah.
extremely bad.
Really bad.
That's what happens. You don't have vision and trust in your creators. But you know, Doomsday feels like, I mean, based on Deadpool and Wolverine, that Marvel's just gonna be like, oh well, you like Deadpool and Wolverine because we got Hugh Jackman back, and you want the nostalgia of
Yeah.
like all these characters
We're
from
just gonna bring you all the
15 years ago,
characters.
so we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do that again. And it's like, oh my god, you can't. That's an unsustainable model to
Yeah.
just be throwing nostalgia at people. At some point, people are gonna be like, okay, but where's the story? Like
Yeah.
this is great. This is great to see this, but
And it's
you
hard
can't.
to pull off something that only kind of Deadpool can pull off because it's Deadpool.
Yeah, and I mean,
It's
and I don't know how you felt about, and we're digressing a lot. And I don't know
I
how
know
you
a
felt
lot. I know.
about Deadpool and Wolverine, but like I'm just like this movie's fine. It's mid. Like it was 7 out of 10.
I actually enjoyed it, but
No, I like, yeah, 7 out of 10 is a
mhm.
passing grade.
Yeah.
But compared to Deadpool 1 and 2, it's like, yeah, you're like not giving me. You're just focusing on the whole X-Men
Mhm.
nostalgia aspect of it, and
Yeah.
like, oh, look at Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, and look at Elektra, and look, it's like look at this, look at that. Now look at this other thing.
Yeah.
So, but whatever, we can talk about that at some other time.
That's fine.
For now, we just lament Ben Solo,
The Hunt for Ben
the hunt
Solo.
for
Yep.
Ben Solo.
Mhm. Which again, they needed work on that title.
Yeah,
Yeah.
placeholder. It's
That's
placeholder. We'll brainstorm something and send Lucasfilm a couple of
uh-huh,
title
uh-huh. And
recommendations.
then we'll get the movie get done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe that'll be because there's a lot of people that want to hashtag make Solo 2 happen. Maybe that'll
Yeah.
be Solo 2, the hunt for Ben. That way some fans get their sequel to
Uh-huh.
Solo, a Star Wars story, and we get like a more convoluted title to the Hunt for Ben Solo. And that way, everyone's
Mhm.
miserable.
Wow, okay. Repartiendo miseria. Eh,
It's been a dark couple months. I will
It
say
is. It has been. It
because of
has
the
been.
world. But
I know.
that's fine. It's
And we're
fine.
still shut down.
We try to find joy, and we're still shut
Mhm.
down. But
And we're still shut down. And we're
because
getting after effects of Hurricane Melissa. That's not near the island, but we're still going to get, winds and rains and probably, no
no power.
electricity.
Yeah.
And we had no water last week. So, yay.
But capitalism and
Mhm.
statehood will solve everything,
Yeah.
as it has for decades. But that's a topic for another day.
And I think with that, we are done,
We're
correct?
done.
Unless you
We're
want to
done with
say
Adam.
anything
We're
else.
done with
We're
Adam
done,
Driver.
done with Adam Driver. Anyway, we love Adam Driver. He has been in a lot of fantastic films, not just Star Wars. So just look him up. He's actually really good. I like him a lot. I am a Reylo. I will admit it. Sorry, guilty as charged. Remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know what you think about upcoming visions coming out this week. If you start watching it, we will start recording, start thinking about what your favorite episodes are going to be, and leave us a comment. Let us know which ones you really want us to talk about. Let us know what you think about the Hunt for Ben Solo, the fact that it got canceled, the fact that a lot of fans are reacting about it, that they got a billboard
Oh,
in
right. We didn't even talk about that.
yeah,
Right.
I know.
I
I didn't
forgot
even. We
about it. Yeah.
did it. They had a banner flying from an airplane, like in front of Disney Studios, and they rented a billboard in Times Squares, which has to be crazy expensive.
Is George Soros bankrolling the Reylos? Like, where's this money coming from?
but there's some love.
There's some.
So
There's some.
and I don't know. For those of you who are interested in it getting made, do you think that fan support is something that will actually push for it to actually be made? Who knows? Are you surprised that they just couldn't understand that Ben Solo cannot survive when so many dead Star Wars characters have always continuously been brought
Hmm.
to life? Darth Maul got cut in half, and he still came back, and he was still fantastic in the animated series.
And we're
So,
gonna get the new show come next year.
and
So
and we're gonna get the new show. True, I forgot about that. So, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We are Triad of the Force. Let us know what you want to talk about, and until next time, may the Force be with you.